Project PIABA is working in Amazonas, Brazil, to protect the fishery where the natives collect wild fish and ship them into the aquarium industry. Thank you guys so much for your support and getting us to 2,500 subs. I can't believe it. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed to the River Life YouTube channel yet, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Give this video a like if you enjoy this kind of content, and if you know someone else who might like it, send it on down the line. That's how the channel grows. I appreciate your consideration. Thanks for watching this one. I was doing a live stream and we were talking about Project PIABA. I had a great time in Chicago at AQUASHELLA 2019. We shared the fish tube booth with Project PIABA. I learned so much about this project. It's a wonderful thing. It's the best thing that's happening in the freshwater fish keeping hobby, in my opinion. I'd like just to take an opportunity and invest some effort to ask you to check out Project PIABA. See if you don't agree with me that it's the best thing happening in our hobby right now. They've got a culturally sensitive program in place based on 30 years of academic research and a complete supply chain of support from Amazonas in Brazil all the way to Florida in the US, where fish are then distributed through an international importer and exporter. I hope you enjoy this video. Welcome to this video. We're talking about Project PIABA. This is an excerpt from a live stream that I did earlier this week where we got to talking about Project PIABA. Lots of great information. I hope you agree. Leave a comment below if you've got a question about Project PIABA. I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Scott Dowd is the director of Project PIABA, and he's been doing the academic work down there for 30 years. And I know the knee-jerk reaction is, why are we taking fish out of the wild? Why are we doing that? We know how to breed fish now. And that's a good, I feel good about myself when I think that first. But when I talked to Scott, and then I learned that the cardinal tetra in particular is an inexhaustible supply. We're not impacting negatively the total population. How can that be? Well, the 5th generation local people that are fishing them, they're still using hand nets, and they're capturing these fish in basically what's a flooded plain, very shallow water. They go out in the canoe, they dip a little hand net, and they catch their fish. So in the wild, the cardinal tetra has a lifespan of about a year. Most of them get up into the shallow waters where they're protected and they can feed. And then when we get into the dry season, now I've not been there yet. This is secondhand information. Feel free to check me out on this. The water recedes so far that there's just puddles all over the place. And now any fish that are in the puddles don't have access to getting out of the puddle. And then eventually the puddle dries. Even with the collection of the cardinal tetras that's going on, an exponential amount of cardinal tetras, more than are wild harvested, die in the floodplain dry off. The fish that don't come into the shallows, that make it to the deep, they're not part of the fishery anyway. So in doing this, what we're doing is we're helping to establish, I guess we call it a chain, a supply chain. So we're helping the natives down there in Amazonas through Project PIABA in a culturally sensitive way. We're not installing, typically we say Western, but we're not installing a Northern capitalist attitude saying, how can we extract from you? We're saying, how are you doing this and how can we help you? The economic impact in these villages down in Amazonas it's amazing. They have a festival. Their annual community festival is it's a Project PIABA. It's not Project PIABA related, but it speaks to the mission completely. It's the local people coming together. They've built an arena. They do carnival type costume. They have competition with Team Discus versus Team Tetra, and they have judges flown in from all over the world to judge their costumes and their dance-offs. It's a big party for the whole region, and that's just part of their culture because they've been collecting these fish for so long. And now they've become, here's the important part, they've become guardians of the rainforest. These people, just like us people, we're having to provide for our families. And in the rainforest, especially that area of Brazil, there's a lot of opportunities to provide for your family that are not healthy for the environment. They are highly impactful. And if these families were not able to feed their family by sustainable harvesting of tropical fish for our aquarium hobby, they'd go right into the slash and burn industry. They'd be cutting down the forest, putting cattle on it to make a living. So now there's no forest with the cleansing qualities of plants and leaves and trees. Now those are gone, and we've installed cattle, which now are polluting the river. Triple bad. We've got to keep these people employed in a sustainable manner. So now that they understand this, they're protecting the rainforest. Don't bring that deforestation over here near us, because we need the rainforest to keep our fishery healthy. Project PIABA recognized this 27 years ago and started helping to establish that chain. And now at AQUASHELLA, we had Project PIABA in the fish tube booth. By the way, the new fish tube, there you go. You can't see it very well. Fish tube booth shirts. What do you think? Give me a thumbs up over here if you like the new fish tube shirts. We had a special guest in the fish tube booth this year, Project PIABA volunteers. So Jackie and Tori came down. They were happy to show people examples of the nets that the natives use. We were able to talk about where on the map these fish are coming from. And right across the aisle from us was Segrest. Segrest Farms, largest fish importer-exporter in the world, totally on board now with Project PIABA. They have a huge warehouse of fish, and they have a special section for Project PIABA where they manage the water parameters that will be similar to where these fish are coming from, basically in the Rio Negro down in the Amazonas. And the fish are in better shape when they get here, because not only has Seagrass set up special holding areas with parameters that match where they're coming from, but they're also training the villagers with best handling practices. So now we are sending people down there. And Oregon Sea Grant, also a big supporter of Project PIABA, and they're sending veterinarians down there to help find out about what's going on with the water and the fish and answer questions to the fishermen. But the best handling practices are set up in different areas, and they just teach the people, hey, your fish are going to live longer in captivity during that transitional period if we do this. And they're certifying the fish catcher. So I hope you're tallying up the wins here. It's pretty big. It's something that I believe in, and I want to be a Project PIABA influencer. I was amazed when I was riding my high horse, Why Wild, and they knocked me right off of it with excellent information that's better for the fish, better for the hobby. And now I believe that it's the best thing that's happening in the freshwater fish hobby. While I was there, I was able to pick up a few souvenirs in Chicago. Project PIABA brought these hand-carved by the Amazon people, little fish, and they use those as part of their fundraiser. Project PIABA is a 501(c)(3), complete volunteer organization, and I told them what I would do is I wanted to take a few of these and ask my viewers if they'd like to have one, if they would send a $20 donation to Project Piaba to my new post office box, which will be in the description. Look in the description for the P.O. box for the River Life YouTube channel. And for a $20 donation to Project Piaba, you can have one of these. Now, I'll tell you, there are only 5 on my desk. I have 5. So when these 5 are gone, I won't have any more. I'm not sure if we can get any more. These are the local people are making these. This isn't industry provided. These are handmade by the locals down there in the Rio Negro. I want to be able to get rid of these pretty quickly, let you guys have some of this and feel like you're helping out Project Piaba, and send them from the River Life YouTube channel, due to the generosity of you guys and the River Life viewers, a check for $100 to help their volunteer organization continue to protect the fishery that, in my opinion, is the very best thing that's happening in our hobby right now. Let's learn more about Project Piaba. Let's raise awareness about Project Piaba and how many people it helps in so many different ways. Project Piaba, I think it's the best thing happening in the hobby. Leave me a comment if you agree or disagree. Thanks for watching this video. Until the next one, get out there and see it, love it, and live it.